There's actually more matches that I'm getting now than before, so it's hard to keep up. Admittedly, your everything you've done has really helped me just get more matches, better matches too, and I'm just able to be more selective. And the fact that I'm being more selective, it also helps me feel like, yes, I'm really just making a choice that's really best suited for me
Yeah.
eventually, right?
Yes.
Even though there are more people, I'm still able to be more selective. So I'm really honing in on someone who I think is a good fit for me.
All right. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this audio today. I'm really excited for Jason here to tell his story on working with me and particularly his journey to finding more quality dates that matched what he was looking for. So let's just start. Hi, Jason. Thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
Hey, Ruby. I'm doing great. Thanks.
Awesome, awesome. So let's start this with a quick introduction here. So can you tell everyone a little bit more about who you are, where you started, and where you are now?
Yeah, for sure. I'm 41 years old. I'm located in Toronto, and I'm an optometrist. Been practicing for quite a few years. I've yet to get married, and just haven't really found that person to really connect with. In terms of dating experience, I've gotten into some serious relationships in the past.
Hmm.
Some were better than others, but I felt lately I just haven't really been connecting on a deeper level with the women I dated, and maybe that's why things didn't work out, or maybe I settled, or a few things.
Right.
So where I'm now with regards to dating, I'm connecting with higher quality women than I have before. I've been online before, but I feel even though that I'm older now, I'm just connecting with women who are really more of a better match for me, higher quality women. So I feel I've been able to be more selective with
Yeah.
who I'm chatting with. Yeah, it's a great feeling, rather than just kind of chatting with whoever kind of responds.
Right,
So,
right. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, it's such an exciting feeling, and I always remember you would kind of show me the matches that you got, and I was like, and you would say, "Well, these are. I mean, she seems high quality. This she seems great as well." So it's great to kind of have that selection, and you're able to choose. Instead of just waiting for the women to choose you. If that makes sense.
yeah,
So
it's a big,
fantastic.
big difference.
Yeah.
Um,
So, I mean, what was the biggest obstacle that you feel you overcame, or the most helpful knowledge you've gained?
I would say just getting out of my own head. I have a history of being a bit of a perfectionist, just, in my field and just the way I do things, but also with dating. And I realized you just got to be more open-minded and just kind of see where things go. You really helped me with that, just to open my mind up, adopt a mindset of just being curious, try to learn more about, the person you're trying to get to know better, right?
Right.
Rather than just focus on your own kind of preconceived thoughts of what you're looking for. Takes a little while to get to know people, especially with messaging online. And, as I got more open-minded, I got to know the women better, and let go of my perfectionist tendencies and just got more curious about talking with them. I think you gave me great tips on just also how to open conversations, especially with younger, high quality professional women. And I got a lot of responses.
That's awesome. I like the balance between you're obviously open minded, but at the same time, I'm not telling you to date everyone, right? That responds to you. It's still being selective with certain ladies and the qualities that you want, but you're open minded to seeing their story. Being a little bit more curious about like their own, I guess you would
Yeah.
say, journey, right?
Yes. 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 The journey. You emphasized the journey with me, and that was really key to just opening my mind up. At least just chatting with more people, and then the ones that you want to chat with offline, you'd be more selective with that. So
Exactly. Exactly. Awesome. So give us a summary of how my guidance has helped you kind of get the quality ladies you're speaking of now.
well, where do we begin? It was a really good journey. It started from the initial process of just drafting up my dating profile. Like I've done it a few times, and this time in the process, you gave me some exercises, just to ask about, first of all, you got to know me better through some of the things you asked, to get to know me as a person and what my goals were. Then after that, it was just really just making me think about what strengths I have, what things I feel proud of, and also just really kind of guiding me to see what makes me stand out to women. So then also on top of that, then also just to figure out what qualities I really want in a woman, the one that would be best suited for me, rather than just, you know, being too general, like being more specific about things and putting that in my profile, putting it in my mindset. So I'm kind of always looking for, I thought the assignments really laid out, like it was a personalized roadmap for me. And it was a good framework for me to just fall back on as I messaged people online, and, just there's certain things I wanted to know about them. And it was very specific. I felt it was good. It was just, very streamlined. I think your PDFs, you just had some, some of the work that you gave me to read over. I thought they were really on point, very specific, right? I remember they were like, and it wasn't like a novel. You gave it to me.
It was literally like, do this, do that. Here's a short explanation, but here's what to do.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is so short. And then I'm like, wow, that was really packed with a lot of good nuggets in there, because sometimes I've done some personal work before, and then you get these novels and you're like, it's hard to retain that, right? But yours is just right to the point. And I felt a lot of the things you kind of suggested were immediately actionable. Like it was so easy, just for me at least, to implement them, and they worked.
Yay, fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved how you brought up the concept of, especially because you were looking for particular, very specific qualities, how to bring that up in a conversation, how to kind of pivot conversation sometimes. And I know we've talked a lot about messaging and conversing, but I'm curious, what's kind of like the one thing in a conversation that you found most helpful? Whether that be pivoting or confronting what you want, or, the things we've like talked about in conversations. What's one thing that really helped you out and you didn't know before?
I think it's just knowing how to ask questions to really elicit, to show them that you're curious about getting to know them, right? It's really just digging deeper. And then when you ask the right questions in terms of, for the women, the ladies that you're messaging, it really does engage them more, rather than just surface level chat. And that kind of dies down pretty soon. So even though you gave me some great openers, Ruby, I've learned sometimes after the openers, it can die down too.
Right.
You just can't carry the conversation.
Exactly. Okay, awesome. So you're saying it's about the questions that are asked, so that it just doesn't get stuck in one spot. It's about asking questions about her journey or whatever it is to continue it.
Yes, asking about the journey, asking about her qualities, and pivoting to ask things you want to know about her. Because obviously you're not just going to chat about, maybe just what she wants to talk about. Because, you want to get to know her too, in terms of if she's a good fit for me or for you. So there's certain things you have to know how to pivot smoothly and just keep the conversation flowing. And I think you really helped me with that transition.
Fantastic. Awesome. No, thank you so much for sharing that part of it. I feel conversations are really important. There's a lot that goes to it. So I'm glad you were able to learn different parts of it. So tell us a little bit more about how you're feeling now.
A lot more confident, I thought I was doing okay before, but I feel I'm doing better now with this. And, I'm happy with all the quality ladies that I'm chatting up, more than before. And I just feel I'm getting to really know them better. And my goal is to try to build something meaningful with somebody who's a good match for me. And I think we touched upon it before. Having multiple options is a good thing. So you can kind of really, in the process of chatting with multiple people or just getting to know people at the same time, you really learn more about yourself and what you really want too. So
Right.
it's very useful to be able to carry the conversation as you mentioned.
That's
Just kind of get
awesome.
to know people more. So it's
Exactly. Exactly. Do you feel that you are getting more closer and you're also more hopeful in finding that kind of partner you are looking for?
I do. I think that before, like there's actually more matches that I'm getting now than before. So it's hard to keep up. Like, admittedly, your everything you've done has really helped me just get more matches, better matches too, and I'm just able to be more selective. And the fact that I'm being more selective, it also helps me feel like, yes, I'm really just making a choice that's really best suited for me
Yeah.
eventually, right?
Yes.
Even though there are more people, I'm still able to be more selective. So I'm really honing in on someone who I think is a good fit for me.
Right, right. Fantastic. That's so awesome. So, I mean, shifting gears a little bit, but usually many people are too scared to kind of give help on such a vulnerable topic. It can be shameful. And also it helps people knowing that you are Asian. And I feel like a lot of times it's even more
Yeah.
shameful, right? For Asians, it's like what used to be therapy used to be a huge stigma, and Asians didn't really accept that. Now
Yeah.
it's I've heard from a lot of different Asians or even Asian clients saying like, oh, can this be weird? This feels really shameful. So can you speak to that and what would you say to them?
Yeah, I totally hear you with regard to being Asian and having that mindset. But yeah, so I think there's no shame at all about working with a dating coach like Ruby. I mean, she's such a pro and she knows what she does and what she's doing. Um, Sorry, let me start over again.
No worries.
Okay, I don't know why this one's a little harder to talk about. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I feel there's no shame in working with and with a coach at all, a dating coach. I mean, we seek out help in so many other areas of our life, from working with like a personal trainer for fitness, business seminars to help us advance in our work, right? Or
Mhm.
and also just seeking more education. So why not do it for dating? I think that for me, it's really helped just really focus on what I really wanted and how to attain that. And I think Ruby did a great job of just help guide me. So yeah, I felt it was a great experience. I think Ruby also took the time to get to know me and also find out what I was looking for and just gave me a good roadmap how to do it. Um, Working with you just really it really helped me open up my mind, change my mindset, and as a result, it just really helped me attract and connect with smarter, high quality ladies. And I really felt that, just along the ways, I mean, there were times where I was stuck, and those are the times that, I didn't know what to do, and I would message you, and you would respond fairly quickly. And I remember I did watch the movie Hitch, and the first thing that
Oh,
came
yeah.
to mind was a scene in there. So I had to look that up and send that to you because you instantly helped me. And I was messaging this very wonderful lady, and you helped me get unstuck.
Mm.
And she responded, and we continued our conversation. And I just felt like, wow, what a moment. It was it was great.
I always
And
remember that. Yeah, you sent me like a GIF for that showed a hitch and the guy was dancing. I was like, oh, that's such a classic scene. That's good.
that's exactly how I felt because I was like, well, I didn't know what to do. And then you kind of guided me there. And, she still responded, and I just got to get to know her better. So it was a great moment. And
Fantastic.
yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, it also kind of going back to what you said, and also I feel like the biggest thing with this program that I feel is helpful is you got that time with me, right? And people will, when they get stuck, they'll start Googling, reading a lot of books, right? But the YouTube videos even, but they can't respond to you kind of in that way with the text, right? So
For
that's obviously
sure.
the
Yeah.
biggest thing with one-on-one. Which actually brings me to the question of, yeah, what are the reasons you noticed like this investment was worth it when you first said yes?
Well, just to continue what you were mentioning there, the one-on-one kind of engagement is great, especially when you get stuck. You can read, you can only read so much, you can only YouTube so much, but a lot of that information is not really personalized and pertinent
Mhm.
to at least my situation, right?
Right.
At that time. So when I got stuck and I didn't know what to say, I messaged you and you kind of gave me some really good tips. It just kind of it worked. It just went, it flowed, and it helped right at the moment, and it was very personal. Um, for I think for me, it was really the change of mindset, just to be more open minded, just to get to be more curious, just to focus on the journey more, as you mentioned, the journey of getting to know somebody. It takes a while to really do that, and messaging, it's a little tough, and that's the first part that I found a little tougher navigating is to message, and then to try and get to know someone through the getting to the phone and the video chat, because during this Corona times right now, it's harder to meet up, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a challenge too, but it was good just to work with you on that, and just really just to change my approach in terms of how I messaged, how I was thinking of messaging, and questions to ask.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. Awesome. So, kind of wrapping this up, usually the people listening to this are guys that are kind of curious and wondering if they should also work with me, but they also want to be in your spot. You know, they want to kind of receive the results that you're getting. But obviously, that it's not just me, right? There's obviously you that executes and implements. So, what qualities do you think one needs to be successful in this, and kind of be like you, dating these high quality ladies?
Well, getting help from you really helped. I'm gonna admit that. I think they, there were more matches, more quality matches. Being in a position where you have options, it helps. It really does help with confidence.
Mhm.
So I do thank you for that. In terms of what else, I think it's important to put the work in.
Mm.
At the beginning, there were exercises you sent me, and I was like, oh, I know this is going to take a while, but I really took a lot of time doing them. I got to know myself a little better. And I also really was focusing in on what I was looking for in terms of a partner. And while doing that, you just have to trust the process that you set out, basically. And it really helped. Um, I also had like these epiphany moments, and I think I mentioned to you,
Yeah.
where I was like, wow, this is what I used to do. This is how I used to message, right? Which was very direct and not very open, and didn't kind of give the opportunity to be curious and to really get to know the women, like in terms of what really made them tick, right?
Right.
So the questions that you helped me generate, the mindset that you helped instill in me, it really broke out of my old habits, and I was just able to really get to know them better and really have them want to chat with me. So I think that really helped. And when you do that, you just figure you have a lot of different options, a lot of different conversations going on at a time, and ultimately, like right now, I'm chatting with three women more than others.
Mhm.
So now that COVID is kind of wrapping up, I'm pretty excited to meet the three of them. We've already talked about that, and I'm still messaging some other people. It's just about really finding someone who's a good match for you. You may have to go through a few people before doing that, but I think the mindset that you've helped instill in me, of just really focusing on the journey, getting to know someone really well, and just seeing if they're a good fit for me.
Right.
That really was really eye opening for me, I guess.
Right, right. No, that's awesome. And the fact that you're able to keep these messages and conversations going throughout COVID so that you can be excited to see them potentially in
Yeah,
person.
right.
That's the hardest part, right? Everyone's like, how do
Oh
you
yeah,
converse with them and keep them interested for so long? But
yeah,
you're able to
yeah.
kind of navigate that more. No, that's awesome. I mean, what I really liked, and also what makes this successful for you is, I mean, thank you for, I guess, thanking me and guiding you, but obviously you're a big part of this. And I think what I really appreciated about working with you is you, as you said, you're open-minded to dating, but you're obviously open-minded to my guidance. You know, you listened, you took it in, and as you said, you put in the work. And I think you
Yes.
even said you trust the process and you trusted me. you know.
Yes.
So
Right.
there, I don't think you've always asked why. You'll kind of have a deeper dive into my guidance, but you're not like,
Yeah.
why would I do that? That's, like, what, you didn't hold much resistance. You just trusted. Even though, let's say, I remember in the very beginning, remember you're like, oh, my profile's fine. I think it's great. Right.
Yeah.
And then, and then we worked through it. I was like, well, if you want these ladies, let's switch it up,
Yes.
so, but
Yep.
you weren't arguing with me with that. You're like, okay, I'll take it. Yeah. Let's just try. So
Yep.
I
Yeah.
really, really appreciate that quality from you.
Well, it
Um,
worked. It worked when you gave me the suggestions. It really did. I mean, I could tell you really knew what you were talking about. I mean, you have a great background in terms of your experience doing all this, right? And the results are there. And I could really feel that you really wanted to help me achieve the results I was looking for. So that made a difference.
oh, that's awesome. Yes, I care. If everyone doesn't know out there,
Yes.
I care about my clients.
Yes.
Even if it is going over time and things like that, like I will stay until you get your questions answered, because it's obviously important to you. Okay, so to wrap this up, like I said, usually people that are listening to this are wondering if they should work with me, and they're kind of on the brink, just saying maybe yes or no. For your last concluding message, I guess, what would you say to anyone watching this right now that are wondering, should I do this?
So, yeah, if you're on the fence about kind of working with a dating coach like Ruby, I would ask you, what do you have to lose? You're going to be working with someone who really knows what they're doing, and just knows how to help you. The fact that she does care and she just gets to know you as a person, it really personalizes the experience, and you can only benefit from it. I I had thought that my dating profile was pretty good, and Ruby helped kind of put it on steroids, or it just got a lot better. It was much better after, and noticeably better within a week. So um, I think she has amazing suggestions to at least help you figure out what you can do to improve your, whether it's your messaging, your profiles, or your pictures. Um, these are suggestions that are proven. She has a very good background in all this, and to me, I just trusted the process, and when I did, I got the results.
Fantastic. Awesome. No, that was awesome. Thank you so much. And just thank you in general, Jason, for being here, for sharing your story, and your insight and your growth in all of this. It's been fantastic working with you. You're amazing to work with. It's been a lot of fun also during all of it, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much again. Thank you for being here. And thank you everyone for listening. And until next time.
Thanks, Ruby.